projects at Savarin. So it's my pleasure to invite Honorable Charles Savarin to the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you, Felix, Secretary to the Cabinet, Honorable Prime Minister, colleague Cabinet Ministers, members of the Village Council, the people, the wonderful people of Soufriere, Scotshead, Galion, and Pointe Michel. I am happy to be here. I am always happy to be here. I am here, as the Secretary to the Cabinet has told you, as Minister for Public Utilities, Energy and Ports in the Labour Party government of Roosevelt Skerrit. I have been here before in different capacities, but I am here today as a minister in the government, in the Labour Party government of Roosevelt Skerrit. Now, your parliamentary representative has just spoken to you, and it gladdens my heart that I was here in 1995 to invite you, to encourage you, to plead with you, all of you, to give your support to Ian Pinard as your parliamentary representative. And you elected Ian Pinard, and Ian Pinard formed part of this government, and this government has taken the interests, the cares, the needs of this constituency to heart. And Ian Pinard has indicated to you some of the things that this government has done in this constituency. In Soufriere, Scotshead, Pointe Michel, we will never be finished speaking about the seawall. Never. Because that seawall, the lives, the safety, the integrity of these communities have been tied around a seawall. The livelihoods and the economies of these communities have been tied to the sea. This is a fishing community. And just as the sea brings sustenance to the people of Soufriere and Scotshead, the sea poses a great danger to the people of Soufriere and Scotshead. And it has been necessary for sea defenses to be erected. And your PAL rep has told you the cost, the $30 million invested in the Soufriere Scotshead seawall, and the $20 million to be invested in the Pointe Michel seawall. Now, as a member of this government, there are some things that make me very proud, and of which I say I am satisfied. And if nothing else is done, I am satisfied that these things have been done. And among the things that I am satisfied about is the question of access to secondary education. I am satisfied about this because for 4.5 years in the opposition, as the elected representative for Roseau Central, I campaigned, I wrote in the newspapers, I wrote to the government, I pleaded with principals of schools and everybody about the discrimination that was practiced by the previous government against the children of the Roseau catchment area. And the Roseau catchment area includes Soufriere, Scott's Head, and Point Michel. Well, I haven't got a school. Is that a school in Galion? So you'll understand. And Galion, of course, but Galion goes to school in Soufriere. So you will forgive me if when I talk about education, I talk about the communities where there either are or were schools. Now, today, every child, and I mean every child, from Soufriere, Galion, Point Michel, Scott's Head, who completes the grade 6 program in a primary school is assured of a place in a secondary school. Every child. And that, for me, is something of which I am proud, of which I am satisfied. And I feel that the government of the Labour Party, the government of Roosevelt Skerritt, the government of Pierre Charles, the government of Rosie Douglas, have in fact corrected that discrimination that existed, so that your children in Soufriere, Scott's Head, Roseau, Massac, Canefield, Davis, La Plaine, Boetica, those children who scored an equal number of points or marks with children from Portsmouth, from Marigot, from St. Joseph, would find that those children could go to secondary school, but those here in Roseau, in Massac, Canefield School, in Soufriere, Scott's Head, Point Michel School, in La Plaine, Davis, and Boetica School, had to score higher if they were to get a place in a secondary school. I always felt it was unfair, it was unreasonable, it was discriminating, and that has ended. We have universal secondary education, and all our children who complete the grade 6 program in our primary schools are assured, our parents can rest assured that their children will find a place in a secondary school. Now you have people who criticize universal secondary education. They say some of the children are not prepared. They say they should send them instead to the GSP, Junior. I want to ask those people, any one of them and all of them, how many of them would remove their children from a secondary school and send their children to the JSP instead? You can call their names. I would like to ask Sabroch. I would like to ask Judith Pestena. I would like to ask Ron Green. I would like to ask all of them, every one of them, who talk about their criticism for the universal secondary education program, and say there should be a JSP instead. How many of them would remove their children or not send their children to a secondary school and send the children to the JSP instead? And I am sure none of them would. Are they saying, therefore, that their children should go to secondary school and your children should go to JSP? And this government has taken a firm position that their children should go to secondary school and your children should go to secondary school as well. And I can tell you this, I used to be a school teacher. I taught at the grammar school. There are people here that I taught when I was a school teacher. Now, at that time, we had the grammar school and we had the technical wing. And there were children who failed the common entrance exam as it was in those days and who came into the technical wing. And there's some of them, I can tell you today, are engineers.